Helping now, new details following a grisly discovery in Hollywood. A 15-year-old girl found dead inside a singer's Tesla.
Mama was sacrificed.
Neutral.
You understand?
Yeah. Appreciate
Michael Jordan, what about him? His dad, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You're out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing.
I've seen the theories about David unaliving Celeste may have been like a ritual, like a sacrificial ritual, which I can see that being a possibility just because when we're talking about like old sacrificial like rituals, they do seek out virgins or seek out young women to sacrifice. That is something that they used to do. Maybe that David, during his gore content and during all the messed up stuff he was looking at, maybe he found content about sacrificial rituals. And
I know about the music industry, and there's a lot of weird things that go on. These meetings they be having, it's more than just that. They plan things, it's a lot of crap.
After Kanye dropped that shocking line about sacrifices in Hollywood, most people laughed it off as just another one of his wild rants. But now, with the disturbing revelations about D4VD and Celeste, those words feel like a chilling warning. Celeste's body was found inside D4VD's Tesla, and according to the coroner, it had been there for a long time before anyone even knew. For a lot of people, this doesn't look like a random tragedy. It looks like the exact kind of sacrifice Kanye was hinting at.
A Lake Elsinore community mourning the suspicious death of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. While we don't know how she died, the teen's decomposed body was found inside a Tesla at a Hollywood tow lot after someone reported a stench coming from the car, which happens to be registered to popular R&B singer Dave.
A movement to push D4VD's career to the next level. But here's the twist. This time it clearly backfired. Instead of staying hidden, the body came to light. And now David is at the center of an intense firestorm as Celeste's friends and family demand answers and justice. Even more disturbing, details about David himself are surfacing, like his obsession with graphic and twisted content. He even openly admitted he used to watch the darkest stuff imaginable to desensitize himself. But the most chilling part? People in the industry allegedly knew about David's obsession with young girls, yet nobody spoke up. That's left people wondering, could Kanye's sacrifice theory explain how this whole situation spiraled out of control? And how is David still walking free when so many are calling him the prime suspect? To give some background, Celeste Rivas vanished in April 2024 at just 13 years old. And after a year with no clues, people thought the case had gone cold.
I served. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Neutral.
You understand?
Yeah. Appreciate
Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You're out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize.
But then on September 8, 2025, her body was shockingly discovered stuffed inside the trunk of a Tesla registered to David. The body had clearly been there for a while, badly decomposed, but still recognizable in haunting ways. According to the LAPD, parts of the head and torso were still visible, including a hand with a "shh" tattoo inked on the right index finger, the very same tattoo David has. The LA County medical examiner later confirmed the remains as Celeste through dental records.
I am in LA, Hollywood, where David was from. I'm here in a record label studio parking lot. I know about the music industry, and there's a lot of weird things that go on. These meetings they be having, it's more than just that. They plan things, it's a lot of crap.
And although the exact cause of death couldn't be determined, her case is now officially being treated as a homicide. And here's where things turn even darker. Reports suggest David had some kind of relationship with Celeste at the time she disappeared, which is disturbing considering her age. But it doesn't end there. Screenshots allegedly from Discord began surfacing online, dating back to 2022 when Celeste was only 11. In one October 2022 exchange, David is seen typing "Celeste in here," and a user under her name responded, "Hi, David Fart." Another screenshot from March 2024 shows members of David's own Discord community discussing his interactions with Celeste. Proof that at least some of his fans knew about this inappropriate connection and stayed quiet. By August 2024, just 4 months after Celeste was reported missing, another chilling clue surfaced. A message popped up online where a user told David to drop the one with the missing girl. Celeste Rivas Hernandez, seemingly pointing to a song David had secretly dedicated to her. Even creepier, Celeste's Discord profile showed activity from January 2021 all the way until early 2024, the exact period leading up to her disappearance. And then there's David's music.
Literally signing a contract and selling our souls. They got contracts out there that say you can't say Jesus. When we was working on this album, people used to be coming over the studio just to say Jesus as loud as they wanted to. You can say Jesus in your studio.
Right before Celeste vanished, an unreleased track called Celeste Demo leaked online, with lyrics that openly talked about his obsession with a girl named Celeste. It's like he was hiding this twisted story in plain sight. Now, if you're wondering about Celeste's family, here's the bombshell. Her mom admitted she knew Celeste had a boyfriend named David before she disappeared. Even a teacher later told TMZ that Celeste had previously run away to Hollywood to be with David in early 2024. Police did manage to track her down and return her home, but it shows just how deep this connection really was. And to make things even more disturbing, photos and videos have surfaced of David hanging out with huge stars like Billie Eilish and Katai, which raises the question, how much did these industry heavyweights really know about David's dark behavior? Because from the Discord chats, we already know some of his fans were aware he was involved with someone underage, yet nobody said a word. And honestly, there's something about Celeste's story that still doesn't add up. Celeste was only 13 when she went missing, and her own mother admitted she knew Celeste was dating a singer in LA, even saying her daughter would sometimes run away from home to be with him. Now, I'm not putting full blame on the mother, but something about this whole situation just doesn't sit right. In fact, fans online are now speculating that David may have been paying off Celeste's family to keep everything quiet. One woman from Lake Elsinore, the same area where Celeste's family lived, commented on a post claiming Celeste came from a rough neighborhood and that her parents allegedly accepted $10,000 a week from David just to let the relationship continue. According to her, the family knew about David and Celeste since she was only 11. That's why some fans are now dragging the parents, saying they should also be held accountable. One user even said, with the whole David situation, I am indeed parent shaming. Because what? How is it that you know your daughter's boyfriend's name is David, but not that he's a whole grown man? And why were the connections not made? A year ago, a whole Discord server knew and didn't say anything. 2 + 2 = 5. And of course, people are now comparing this to the R. Kelly situation, saying it's another case of parents knowingly letting their daughter run around with a grown man just because he was rich and famous. But here's where it takes an even darker turn, because speaking of fame, another theory has been blowing up online. It ties directly back to those chilling words Kanye said about sacrifices in the industry. And some people are convinced Celeste's case is part of that same twisted pattern. Kanye didn't just randomly blurt out, "My mama was sacrificed." He framed it as part of a disturbing pattern in Hollywood, a pattern where loved ones, friends, and even family are allegedly taken away to control artists through trauma. He said, "I served. My mama ain't here. My mama was," and that unfinished sentence hit different once Celeste's story came to light. Because think about it. When Celeste's body was discovered, David just so happened to be in the middle of a massive world tour, and almost instantly his fame shot through the roof. His name was everywhere, his music streams exploded, and suddenly he was moving like a superstar overnight. That timing alone has people raising eyebrows. Even fellow artist Santi P, who once worked with David, dropped a TikTok saying David completely changed after signing his record deal. According to Santi, David used to be spiritual and often talked about God in his music. But once he signed that contract, he stopped cold. And Santi swears that wasn't a coincidence. He claims it was literally written into the paperwork as one of the contract's clauses. And here's the wild part. Kanye had said something eerily similar before. He warned that industry contracts purposely ban artists from singing or rapping about Jesus, as if faith itself is a threat to the system. So now fans are looking at David's sudden shift and asking, was this all just a tragic coincidence? Or was Celeste's death the price for his rise in fame? These alleged sacrifices in the industry aren't just random. People claim they follow a pattern full of symbolism, timing, and most importantly, control. And when you look at David's situation, you can see almost every single element lined up. A rising star suddenly on a global tour, a girl tied to him in both life and music, tattoos that match lyrics about obsession, and then her body showing up in his Tesla right out in the open. And that's what makes this so bizarre. If he really did harm her, why would he leave her body in a car registered to his own name? That's like leaving fingerprints at a crime scene on purpose. And here's another burning question. How come the police still haven't arrested David despite all the evidence linking him to Celeste? Even if he didn't end her life, her body was still found in his car. And we already know he was allegedly flying her out to LA when she was only 11. That alone should have led to charges. Nothing about this case adds up. Anybody else would have been behind bars by now. So does David have a rock-solid alibi, or is someone higher up protecting him? Could this really have been a sacrifice for David's career, just like the conspiracy theories suggest? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to see it. And don't forget to stay tuned for the next story.